Hi and welcome to Terry Talks Movies. This time around, the nice people at Vision, who also do imprint, sent me out a disc that I wasn't expecting but I really like. It's a 4K and it's a 4K of a movie that I have a great fondness for. Reservoir Dogs 4K and Blu-ray edition. Of course, the 4K doesn't have any ridge encoding because 4K doesn't. And this one has a lenticular cover, which is very groovy. I've got friends who collect lenticular things and they're kind of envious of this one. It's a nice chunky little unit. It has a reverse J card, so the J card's actually attached at the top. And on the back, you've got the details, special features on this one. Deleted scenes, playing it fast and loose, profiling the Reservoir Dogs, which is kind of cool. It's a limited edition of 2000. This one's 1928 of 2000. Vision are doing some interesting things with these, and that lenticular cover really does my head in at times. I'll just get it out of the box. Inside, you've got your more traditional Reservoir Dogs cover with the poster on it, that kind of iconic 1992 look that it's got about it. On the back, it's got pretty much the same thing, except with Tim Roth spilling his guts in the climax of the film. It's got an R rating here in Australia, and it says, "The content is high in impact." See, it says that down there. That's a very ambiguous thing to say. But these ratings are always a bit weird sometimes. When Tarantino's work, you either like it or you don't. I happen to like it. I did a 24-hour movie marathon where I watched all of Tarantino's movies a couple of years ago. And that was a head spin and it was a lot of fun, but I kind of went with it. And it actually ended up being about 25 and a half hours. So I stretched myself to the limits for that one. On the inside, you've got a little bit of a photo insert in the cover. There's your 4K, there's your Blu-ray, which is kind of cool. But there's more. You get steak knives as well. No, you don't actually get steak knives. You get this. Reservoir Dogs with a whole bunch of photo cards. Iconic images you can frame and put up on the wall if you want to. And people often do, because I've seen a lot of Reservoir Dogs posters back in the day on people's walls as a kind of totem of where they stood as far as cinema is concerned. Another iconic shot there. By the way, I left a burp in the edit of the last video and Middle Aged Geek Girl spotted it and I got into a little bit of trouble for that. Bit of Harvey Keitel. No. Yeah, bit of Harvey Keitel there, looking suave as hell. Michael Madsen about to do a bit of DIY surgery on a policeman. Bit of Buscemi, and who doesn't love Steve Buscemi? Young Tim Roth. Times have changed. It's 31 years since this movie came out, and all of the actors have been beaten around the face and neck by Father Time since then. Let me put all this back together. But I like the fact that Vision have put this one out. It's going to sell pretty well because there's still a big fan base for these movies in Australia, particularly among the sort of people who are moving on to 4K from Blu-ray. Now, for me, I'm kind of agnostic on that. I like having a 4K. If a 4K is given to me, as indeed this one was, I'm very happy to accept it. There are a couple of classic movies I like getting on 4K because, in a sense, I want to honour them by watching them at the highest definition that I possibly can. But, yeah, I want to see more Tarantino on 4K coming out from Vision if they're able to get the rights to it. Again, there's not enormous amounts of extras on this, but we've all heard the stories. We all know the stories of Tarantino's work. There are a number of ways in which the information about how the movies were made and the impact of the movies has been brought out to us. But this one, because of the fact that it's an honest and very kind of prestige package, really chunky with the lenticular cover, which is an extra selling point, particularly among lenticular fans, I know. Yeah, I'm going to rewatch this one soon. I watched them a couple of years ago when I did that 24-hour, 25-hour marathon. This is the kind of groovy movie that's going to do crazily well in the marketplace because people love the movie so much, and getting as high quality version of it as possible is something that they're going to want to do. And you've got to hold that just right, otherwise it's going to dig my eyes in. In fact, I could almost put that on the shelf in that position rather than in that position, because it's a focal point when you put it on a shelf like that, having a lenticular cover. So it's a versatile little object. You can even put it on a shelf by itself and just have that sitting there as flying your flag as far as your movie tastes are concerned.
Hold it! Hold it! Right there! Get in the car!
And I like the movie as well. The movie was great. I mean, that ensemble, Lawrence Tierney at the start of the movie, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, Harvey Keitel, Steve Buscemi, just playing off each other. The round the table bit at the start where they're all talking about Madonna's Like a Virgin, which dates the movie very slightly, and yet still the crisp Tarantino dialogue really works, and you can see a clean through line from the diner dialogue in Reservoir Dogs to probably the peak of Tarantino's dialogue, which would have been the bit at the start of Inglourious Basterds where Hans Landa, played by Christoph Waltz, is interrogating the farmer about whether he's hiding Jewish people in his basement.
Est-ce la propriété de Perrier-Lapadite?
Je suis Perrier-Lapadite.
C'est un plaisir de vous rencontrer, monsieur Lapadite. Je suis le colonel SS Hans Landa.
Que puis-je faire pour vous?
J'espérais que vous m'inviteriez à entrer chez vous afin que nous puissions avoir une discussion.
There's a clear through line between those two things and that love of dialogue and how dialogue creates and informs tension and moves the plot along nicely. It's whatever you think of Tarantino, that crispness of dialogue and that way that he uses it to bring the audience into a conversation in a really immersive way. It started with this, and I like it a lot, and I'm very glad to have this 4K, and thank you to Biovision for delivering it to me. So that's it for this time around. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. You can also support the channel by donating at patreon.com/TerryTalksMovies. Still got that giveaway at the end of the month for the Patreon supporters, so if you want to be a part of that, you might want to join up now, because we're going to be dropping everyone's name into a virtual bucket and picking out a winner from that. It may be worth a few shekels a month to become a patron of the channel. So anyway, until next time, watch some good movies, watch some bad movies. Get a bit of Tarantino into you and just have a little bit of fun there. And I'll catch you next time.